Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3. Make sure to hit that sub button so you don't miss one of my reviews and the notification bell, and follow me at Steve Varley Show on Instagram. I post a bunch of fun stuff there, celebrity interview clips, movie reviews, you name it, and it'll really help in so many ways. So jumping into this episode, let's start with this flashback for a second, because this is huge implications. So this flashback takes place 3 years ago, and we see that Harcourt was sleeping with Rick Flag, and this is interesting because it's giving us something about Harcourt's past. She's still the character in the show we know the least about with her past. So I've always wanted to see that explored and learn more about her. And this is kind of getting a piece of that. And it's interesting because Rick Flag himself is the only character who was in the original Suicide Squad from 2016, then was also in the Suicide Squad of James Gunn. So he mentions here at the time he is dating Enchantress, who was in the original Suicide Squad. So we don't know if that's actually Cara Delevingne who's playing her in this universe. I have a feeling it would be somebody different. But it's interesting that he mentions that he won't break up with her because she's afraid she will burrow a hole through the planet. And Harcourt's explaining she doesn't like lying about, obviously, them being together. And she mentions she doesn't want to screw up their friendship because they are each other's only friends, which I thought is interesting too. So there's a big connection there between her and Rick Flag. And this is huge because Harcourt doesn't know that Peacemaker is the one who kills him. So this is going to make things complicated. I'm sure she's going to find this out at the end of the season, and it's going to be a stopping point for her and her relationship with Peacemaker. And it might be something that she gets drawn to Rick Flag Sr.'s mission for. Now let's go to everything that happens in the present that is in the alternate dimension with Peacemaker, and then we'll do everything going on in our main dimension. Now, right away, we see his brother Keith is making sure it's just alcohol he's doing now because he's hungover, nothing else, because you see he's so paranoid about him being a pill popper. We see that he has a bunch of pills in his drawer, this Peacemaker, and we'll see that paid off later on when he's talking about how much he loves his brother and doesn't want him to fall into that. Now, we also see this Harcourt is very cautious about meeting him, doesn't want to get hurt by him, so it's a very different relationship going on. And this Peacemaker is not about the other dimensions Peacemaker style. I also have little funny things that are different about the universe they throw in. Like, Keith doesn't know who the Kardashians is, so in this universe, the Kardashians aren't famous. And we also learn he has a peace cycle in this universe. So he gets to ride it to Argus. He's a big celebrity in the streets. There's a kid crying of joy seeing him. There's a woman who flashes him. He's already falling in love with this alternate dimension. But in the Argus headquarters, he runs right into this Rick Flag. He is super possessive of Harcourt. He is dating her at this time. And also, Harcourt's not even called by Harcourt. She is Amelia in this universe. Her first name is what she's called by. She's more bright. She's happy. She's not wearing all black. This whole dimension is more happy and all the situations that Peacemaker is in. I mean, there's even a mural of Peacemaker as a hero in this dimension. And then he gets to go on this fun little mini date with Harcourt, getting hot dogs. It's like a dream for him. James Gunn obviously wants this whole situation to seem like that. But what throws you off for a second is the Mighty Crabjoy's billboard, which you know is from Superman. That's when they were first introduced. But I think it's just a coincidence that Mighty Crabjoy's is also in this dimension. I don't think it's saying this is the Superman universe. I still think the Superman universe is the main universe we see in this show that's been retconned. And that was the same Superman that showed up in the retconned ending of season 1. Plus, they even have Bordeaux mention the incident in Metropolis. So I'm sure that's obviously talking about the Superman movie. Now, we learned this Peacemaker in this dimension was arrogant and he cheated on Harcourt and he really hurt her. So for her to even consider being with him again, she wants a full commitment this time and then go from there. When this moment happens and they agree to that, a bomb explodes and then it's the Sons of Liberty terrorists. They want to destroy all these governmental agencies, and of course what's funny about this is they're attacking the DMV, but our Peacemaker gets to be a real hero here. Some sick action in this sequence. I love when he gives the guy the knife to the eye from kicking his back in, and then he kills the guy with a copier, and that pencil kill was really sick, twisting it in the guy's head. So he stops the bomb, and then his brother Keith gets a little action here and flies and destroys the helicopter. So this is where Harcourt is swooning over Peacemaker. She swoons over him even in the happy texts later on, and brings up again what they discussed about commitment. So this is getting our Peacemaker very excited. And he gets this great moment with his brother. And his brother says, you know I love you no matter what. This hits our Peacemaker so hard because this is a world where his brother lived. He's like, I really missed you more than you could ever. And then gets cut off. But man, what a great moment there and good writing there by James Gunn. And really all these things hooking this Peacemaker to want to be in this dimension. Now, before we get to the end here, let's go to the crew in the main dimension storyline. So the crew is hungover from their get together the night before. Leota's tugging at Harcourt. This whole episode about her and Peacemaker's relationship, how they hung out a lot. In the past, this is the timeline we didn't see. And Harcourt keeps saying nothing happened. But Leota's pushing Peacemaker onto Harcourt like he's in love with you. He's pointing out how they're both not perfect. But Harcourt still says they will never be a thing. And Leota says, does he know that? So also pushing her too of like, are you kind of leading him on whatever happened on this boat that she doesn't know about? So Leota's really getting into Harcourt's feelings about Peacemaker. It's still very mysterious. Meanwhile, Vigilante's deep dark secret is he likes spiders, where Leota asks, how many people have you killed though? So it's so funny that that's what he looks at as his dark secret and not actually about all the people he's murdered. And I love here when Agent Bordeaux calls Economos and is like, why didn't you tell us he has a superpowered duck? And Fleury's like, he told me duck. What kind of man takes advantage of another man's bird blindness? That was so funny. But you see, Bordeaux is talking about, like I said, this portal, that these are the type of threats that Argos' top priority now since the Metropolis incident took out half the city, which is obviously a Superman movie. But we meet now Red Saint Wild, the Eagle Hunter, played by Michael Roker. Now, I wish Michael Roker wasn't doing a character like this, because to me, I get annoyed. This happens in the MCU, and I don't want it to happen here in DC, where these great actors, especially one of James Gunn's great actors, he always uses Michael Roker, is used on a minimal role like the Eagle Hunter. I'd rather have seen him put into something more exciting, a bigger character. So I'm a little skeptical about this, but let's see what goes on with the Eagle Hunter here. I mean, it obviously works for Michael Roker. I just hope it's not like the only thing we're going to see of him here, and that he's going to be a quick in and out. But Economos is partnered up with the Judo Masters, so he's really pissed, and it's good to see Judo Masters back. And we see this full big squad now arrives to Peacemaker's place while he's coming back from the other dimension. So this is setting up probably an insane episode 4. I think we all want to get there. We want the big moment of the show to happen. Feels like the show's getting a little slow out of the gates here. A lot of setup is going on, a lot of multiverse stuff, and I think a lot of people are over the multiverse stuff, just in all kind of superhero stuff right now. I'm in that group as well, but I do think they're doing a very effective job at it with Peacemaker's story, but I'm excited to see him back in the dimension and back with the group. So I think this was a good episode. I was surprised how short it was. It was only 38 minutes long, and it's the shortest of the season, so that could feel a little wanting more feeling at the end of this, but it was still strong enough. I like what they're doing here with Peacemaker and how he's getting a taste of everything kind of being different in this world, like the grass is always greener type world for him. And what is he going to do next in his regular dimension? Is he going to ditch these people? How is this all going to affect everything going on? What is Economos going to do? So there's a lot of interesting stuff. I'm not sure how much I like, though, how much is being put this season onto his relationship with Harcourt, even in both universes. Like, it's the main focus right now. So I don't think it's the most interesting thing to have, like, the love story priority. I think there needs to be a little more going on than that. At the moment, I feel like we're not getting that enough. So we'll see where it goes. But overall, I'm going to give this episode a 7.8. My least favorite of the season so far, but I feel like next episode is obviously going to be wild, and we'll see what goes on. So let me know your theories, your thoughts of this episode, what's going on in the season. I read every comment, try to respond as many as I can. Hit that sub button so you don't miss one of my reviews of Peacemaker. I'll also be doing Task on HBO coming out this week, and I'll see you next time.